Let me get to my thing. Let me get to my. All right. Welcome. If you see, you see. If you don't, you don't. If you with it, you with it. If you're not, you're not. If you're with it, you blow it. Yeah, this is another adventure. JASS, No Jazz Show live on a Tuesday night in this new time frame after crowd. Got a big crowd. Okay, crowd with the little down. Crowd got the little down. Okay. In this new time after Halloween. I am your host, KD. And of course, to my left, when we edit and record this, he's gonna be to my right. To some of y'all, he might be to your right or the left. But no matter what, he's always on my side. My main man, Tank. Tank, tell these people what's up.
What's up, people? What's up? Y'all ready for a great show tonight? Somebody's not, because what happened to his team last night, but we'll do that a little later.
Oh, no, hey. What happened to the team? What happened to the team? As you can see, I'm going to tell you what happened to my team. But before I tell you what happened to my team, I just want everyone to make sure you join us live on DUPONTNIVEK, my page, Z on Facebook. Also on TikTok at NOJASSSHOW. TikTok people, I see you logging in. I see you coming in live. You all know we're about to get this thing on the road. We are on Riverside Live. We are on YouTube at NOJASSSHOW live show. We are on Twitch live. I should have went live on Twitch last night. Because boy, that was a video.
You might have crashed out.
I might have crashed out. We are definitely on what have we got? Twitter, Instagram, NOJASS. Make sure you
Facebook.
Well, I told group. Well, the Facebook group. I forgot the Facebook group. No Jazz Show Facebook group. The link is in the box. Make sure you click it and join us live. We are live right now, and this edit will be made for your availability, just like they did on the Oprah show. Transcripts will be available after the show. Right after that. So check it out. We are on. A lot of people might be up, but I definitely want you to comment, like, subscribe, share to our pages on X and IG. We're about to get into some great sports points. I'm gonna kind of I'm just gonna be straight up front about what's going on. We know what's going on. I'm still draped in my colors. But I'm not delusional. I'm just waking up from what happened last night, and I took a couple shots at everything. As you can see, I got the red label. I got the black label. They all been hit.
They done drove them to drink.
I got 4 roses. Ooh, I got some of this Sweet Home. I almost went home to glory last night, boy. I got some of this Doers. Hey, and most of all, I got some water, because it's crazy. It's crazy. But before we get into how crazy it was, I just want to make sure all of our sponsors have their shops out. Please recognize and make sure you order all of your dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner needs from LYTE Snack, lightsnack.com for all of your breakfast, lunch, and dinner needs, for all of your food delivery needs. And make sure when you order your food, make sure you order those wings from MAGIC City Wings, where their motto is, don't forget to lick the sauce. And in this holiday season, as we come up on gift giving time, and they just skipped over Thanksgiving, and the store aisles are starting to be Drake with black Santa Clauses, white Santa Clauses, black Santa Claus wives, and white Santa Claus wives. I even seen a transgender. I'm not gonna even lie.
I don't even know how that works. I don't even know
They are opening it up for everybody.
Yeah, I don't even know how you be. I don't even know how you be able to tell what it was, if it was.
I'm tell you something, man. I'm not going to get into it, because boy, it had on it had on the sport bra.
Okay. But why? Wait a minute. If Santa's wearing the outfit, how you know they got a sports bra? I mean, what?
Yeah. Don't get me. I just know. At any rate, for everybody, we all equal here. You know, it's what it is. You know, everybody can join in and talk sports. We know.
Mm-hmm.
But it was make sure you for what I'm saying, for this holiday season, make sure you go to QUIKvisits.com for all your lingerie and loungewear needs for your lady and yourself. You know, guys, don't forget, this could be for you too. Especially needing to open up these gifts with them food stamps shutting down. There's gonna be a lot of upset people around here, man. So, you know, just kind of just keep everybody happy. You know, because and it's not about the food stamps, it's about if you were getting them, and now you got to buy your own food per se, you know, your finances shifting somewhere else, and that can make you be down a little bit. So we got to do what we can, you know, just to make sure we get into everything. But I'm not about to get into that political conversation as much as I am about to get into this football from week 9, 3-5-1 is week 9, right?
Yeah.
Leading into week 10, leading into the bye week. Big news, baby. Big news. Don't snooze when you lose, because Jokers be having big news. It was a voting day in Georgia. So if you did cast your vote today, it was a voting day across America, wasn't it? Actually,
yep.
I forgot about that. If you did cast your vote,
quite a few.
Thank you for casting your vote, and just remember, your vote does count. And what we need as far as this election is concerned, I know a lot of people believe in it, don't believe in it, don't do a lot of these middle of the road elections, but they are just as important as the presidential election. Please keep that in mind. But you know what? Let's start with the good news. And because I have opened this up, and I've been just yapping and rapping. But I'll start with the good news. Tank, what's your good news?
My good news is my defense finally showed up in full force for a change. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers. We had a couple of days to marinate over that performance, seeing the defense finally show up. I did a little video, a little reel before the game, saying what needed to be done in order to win the game. And I said, you need to stop Jonathan Taylor at all costs. Do that, make them one-dimensional, and make Indiana Jones beat you. And that's exactly, and they need to simplify the defense. That's exactly what they did. They simplified the defense. They weren't having to be reactive and thinking a lot. All they had to do was play fast and go hunt. And that's what they did for the whole 60 minutes. The defense was dominant for a change. Caused 6 turnovers, got five turnovers, got 6 sacks. Watt showed up. Highsmith showed up. The secondary did its job. That last quarter, those garbage stats, they don't let that fool you. The game wasn't as close as the score says it was, and neither were the stats as far as looking like Indiana Jones had a good day. Those are all garbage yards. The offense is still plotting. It's still a work in progress, because that offense is not going to get done what we need to get done, if we're in the postseason. But again, the good news is, Terrell Austin, you listened to me last week and you listened to me before kickoff and did what needs to be done. Because when you can make a team one-dimensional, you have a much better chance at winning games, especially if your offense is capitalizing off of all those turnovers. So, hey, that's my good news, and that's what I'm happy about. That's what makes this week a great week for me. And we got to keep it rolling as we take on the Chargers.
Absolutely. And I just thought about, I just found out something. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. I'm not going to hold my bottles up anymore because my people on TikTok can't see me for about 10 minutes. Because obviously I held up a brand. I don't know which brand it was. Oh. I know it was I held up a brand and they said I'm advertising. So, that, hey, I wasn't banned. But you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn. So maybe because I know I made sure I didn't show anything as far as the top are concerned. But let me flip the roll around, so it'll look generic. But yeah, man, that is something you gotta do and make sure of. But back to where we were. Just like Tank said, Pittsburgh showed up, showed out. I do want to go over the standings in the American Football Conference. We now have the Panthers at 7-2, the Bills in the AFC East. In the AFC East, yeah. Patriots at 7-2, the Bills at 6-2. We're not going to even talk about
those. Don't even count. Yeah.
Then you go to the AFC North. We have, of course, the Steelers at 5-3.
Everybody else don't count right now.
Everybody else really don't count. We're going to the AFC South, where the Colts are 7-2. The Jaguars are 5-3, and everybody else don't count. AFC West, Broncos 7-2, Chargers 6-3. This looks like the conference, and the Chiefs 5-4. This looks like the conference that's going to be who's going to sneak in wild card for the AFC. Then we go to the NFC. We have, of course, the Eagles at 6-2, and in the NFC East, pretty much no one else counts at this point. Going to the NFC North, the Packers are 5-2, Lions 5-3, and the Bears 5-3. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the Vikings at 500, 4-4, because this might be the tight division. Great game, and we're gonna get into it. That the Vikings put together with McCarthy coming back. I just kind of want to point that out. He definitely showed why you just can't count anyone out in the NFL. The NFL is definitely a hard league to win in. And you have to be very mindful of week to week. People just be up for you, and you can't necessarily justify or dictate or have those sports premonitions, especially when you're betting.
Yeah.
About who's going to do what. Then, of course, moving on to the NFC South, you have the Buccaneers at 6-2. Creeping up on them are the Panthers at 5-4. The Panthers.
Shocking. The Panthers are shocking this year. The Panthers and the Patriots are shocking this year.
You know who the Panthers? Who did the Panthers beat this past weekend?
Green Bay.
I knew that. And there's been a fuss. I'm about to rhyme again. There's been a fuss about the pass rush. So somebody didn't stop the run, just like somebody, and we're gonna get to that, knew he doesn't necessarily stop the run. It's just what it is. But nothing against him, because he did. And we're talking about Michael Parsons, in the Green Bay defense. So it's just one of those things, man, where you just kind of look at the NFL, and I'll just go ahead and say this because it was on the agenda from the beginning of the year to now. We are in mid-season, week 9, 8 games left.
Don't forget about the NFC
Oh, the West?
The West, yeah.
Oh, I ain't scroll all the way down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's tight.
Yeah.
The NFC West, Seahawks 6-2, LA Rams 6-2, 49ers 6-3. I'm gonna get into that because that's not real. I'm gonna get into that. And they are all in the hunt to provide what will be possibly some NFL drama coming up November to January for the last game. Who's gonna be the 6-2 team? Who's gonna be the 4-4 team? Who's gonna be the 0-8 team? Who's gonna go on a run and go 8-0?
It's shaping up to be a good one.
Oh yeah, because like I said, and I was about to allude to. Is it allude to?
Allude to.
That's what I was about to allude to. Who did we call out at the beginning of the year? Who did we call out at the beginning of the year that allows us to say we said that they would be where they are now, and who do we think would be somewhere that they're not?
I know we said the Eagles. We also said we said Detroit. We thought Detroit would be in first place, but they're in second, but they're still doing their thing. Team that we didn't think was going to be anywhere was the Carolina Panthers. And no, they don't have a great record, but looking at what they've done in the past, we did not think that they would be in this situation. They're in playoff. They're in the playoff hunt halfway through the season. AFC, we knew the Raiders were going to be garbage, and they are proven to be that.
We're back. Go ahead.
Okay, we knew the Raiders would be garbage. So nobody should be shocked about that. We didn't think that Denver would be in first place, nor did we thought Denver would be competitive, but we definitely did not have the Patriots in first place in their division at the halfway point.
Hold on. We might need to roll the tape.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
We might need to roll the tape. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm a conspiracy theorist, y'all. I am. Born. It's just in my blood. I had a feeling Denver, and we can roll the tape, but I had a feeling Denver would do well because I just didn't see them allowing Coach Prime, we're gonna get into him, to be the face of Denver, Colorado. That's just me. I said Denver would do, or maybe I said they had to do well to ensure.
Yeah, to say they had to do well, and we thought that they would do. We thought they would be competitive, but first place was at this point wasn't. Yeah,
right. But go ahead, continue what you're saying.
Yeah, but we didn't think that New England was going to be in first place. We figured they would probably. We said we knew we already had the Jets finishing in last. Buffalo, we figured would be first, and we figured the Dolphins and the Patriots would be slapping hands together to be a disrespectful second place thing. We didn't.
And you know what? We definitely that is our fault because I said that Denver needed to be competitive just out of the Colorado situation, but I did give Harbaugh a little bit more credit.
Yeah.
To be the one to compete, and they are.
Yeah.
With Kansas City, because we were still giving Kansas City, and that's just the nature of the NFL. We were still giving Kansas City their just due because they're Kansas City. You know, and that's a beautiful thing about sports. That's a beautiful thing about the NFL. It can transition from year to year. It can transition from week to week. Those for whom you are comfortable with and you enjoy betting on, can hurt you. It can get injured. Anything can happen. And it just shifts the dynamic, just at that point. So I do like where it's going. However, we're in November, man.
Yeah.
I got a friend, and I believe this too. Everything prior to even this past week, I'm gonna give week 9 it's just because it's the halfway point.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was still 16 games, I wouldn't. I usually just do the 8. But the NFL season begins now. Everything prior to that is just a track meet. Everything prior to that is going to count towards what you do in the end, because that's just a track meet, fantasy football league that gets us engaged in what's going on. I've always felt that way. I've always believed that. Now we're about to see who they were setting us up to watch, love, fall in love with, act like we're predicting what they can do, and then they're going to drop us. Like the people who are, because right now there are Seattle and Buffalo in the Super Bowl picks.
Mm-hmm.
Child, please.
Yeah.
Child, please.
Yeah.
Child, please.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I would be shocked.
Come on now, child, please.
Yeah. And 2 other teams that we were both wrong on at this point. Neither one of us had Baltimore fighting to get back in the playoff hunt.
Absolutely.
And neither one of us had Pittsburgh in first place in the division.
Well,
we thought that they could be somewhat competitive, but if you told me they would be in first place, I would have said no. I just don't see them being in front of Baltimore at this point.
But I
thought they would be competitive.
You know what that is? You probably thought it was more. You just saw Cincinnati and Baltimore being better.
I didn't think Cincinnati was better because they no defense. No, yeah. I just knew they had no defense. And Cleveland, Cleveland is the armpit of the NFL. Well, the right armpit of the NFL. And the Jets are the left armpit of the NFL. So Pittsburgh, because they're Pittsburgh, because they always do that, I figured they will be in second, but not have the record as good as they do now. So that's a plus. But hey, man, any given Sunday, Monday, well, we got to change. Any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, anything can happen.
Any given Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, and it depends if you're playing in Europe, because it might be Saturday night. NFL, they manifest destiny. Let's get into some topics right quick, man.
All right, let's do it.
Let me go to my notes, man. All right, here's a good one. We're gonna shift a little bit because the NFL is the behemoth of American sports, and it is the apple of these two guys' eyes. So if you're a sports fan and you just like a variety of sports, you're gonna find a twinkle of it here. But it's football country, baby. Just some Southern boys. But at any rate, I'm going into baseball, and I want to talk about how and congratulations to because I know we got an LA crowd out there. Back-to-back World Series. Something like that. Nevertheless, that's not the topic of the story because, really, nobody watch baseball like that, except in the fall. My question about the World Series is this now makes Magic Johnson, who is a part owner of the LA Dodgers, his 18th point this out too. This is Magic Johnson's 18th world championship in the history of his life. This is his 11th championship since his announcement was made in 1991. Which leads me to ask, and everybody knew what the announcement was.
Yeah.
Has he had the most charmed sports life in any sports entertainment figure's life? Is he at number one at this point? We all know who Magic is. Sports icon. There are many that have come after Magic that has used Magic's templates.
Okay. One question before we delve into that. What would you get?
Urban Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
People.
For his sports life, what would you grade it between an A and an F? Well, no, his sports life, and also for everything that he's done, because he's had a lot of business endeavors, which including the Dodgers.
And I'm gonna put all of that in between the lines.
All that, yeah, okay.
Oh my God, hey. With the exception of one package.
we on the same, okay. With the exception of the Magic Hour.
Lord, please forgive me. It would be hard not to trade with this man, but that one package, that one delivery, I'm gonna say, but hey, the numbers speak for themselves. And I'm not talking about the assists.
Yeah, I think that you got for everything, the only failure he's had was the Magic Hour. That's the only failure he's had.
You mean his variety show?
Yeah. That's his talk. That's the only failure he's had. He had Magic outside of sports. He's got Starbucks. He's had the Magic Johnson Theaters, which was nationwide. He's got a multi.
TGI
Fridays. Yeah. So he has a it's like a food distribution company that works with like warehouses and factories, like with UPS. I think partner with them. He has that. You know, that's the bulk of those billions. Yeah.
He's raking in.
I think the only other person
he had his coaching opportunity and his opportunity.
With
the Magic Hour.
Yeah.
A little bit too.
The only person I could say you could.
Yeah, who's coming close?
I could say Brady.
MJ?
Yeah, but how much is he great? Because don't take it wrong. As far as being that we know of all of his other things that he's done, other than basketball in the shoes, what other things has he done that succeeded? Because he was a terrible GM. Baseball didn't work out for him. What other? Because I can't recall any of his other business ventures. I'm sure he's got them.
Let me tell you what we got to do. Let me tell you what we got to do. And see, this is where Brady is not. Magic is championship, high school on every level.
Oh, okay, you're talking every level. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah.
He's championship on every level.
He's definitely first.
And then he has, I think he was in the fish that saved Pittsburgh. The fish that saved Pittsburgh. I'm not gonna say the movie was great. It was like once it's on TV, it was great, but it wasn't that much in the theaters. So now let's start comparing. Now see when you jump to Michael, yeah, you can look at the failures, but Michael Jordan Cologne was Michael Jordan Cologne
I only remember his cologne. What did it smell like? Tennis shoes? Did it smell like tennis shoes? I can't remember the cologne.
Hey, it didn't smell like tennis shoes, but it's in Walgreens now. But when it came out,
yeah, I think you got. I think obviously
he had some wins. Movies. It wasn't a fish called Pittsburgh, but
Space
come on
Jam.
now.
Space Jam.
Come on now. Which one was the best? Would you take Michael Jackson Jam or Michael Jackson Remember the Time?
Remember the Time.
Okay, Remember the Time. So we'll give that one to Magic. Behold.
Yeah.
We'll give that one to Magic. Businesses, come on now.
Yeah. It's obviously it's Magic. It's Magic ahead of everybody.
It's Magic ahead of everybody. I still give Magic that slight edge.
I think as far as for today,
whatever they were doing, he was moving on the clock.
But I think for MJ is, I think he crosses generations because you got kids now who want Jordans. They don't know, all the thing they know is his shoes. So as far as that, when you say Magic, unless they basketball junkies or whatnot, or Laker fans, diehard Laker fans, and like the history of the Lakers, I don't think the name Magic means much to them. So I don't think the name Magic means as much to the youth and generation of today as Michael does. Yeah. So I think he
got out of the fold.
Yeah, and I don't think that,
because they never would have disrespected. We even did a topic about, someone said something. Was it Ant-Man a few months back?
Yeah.
Ant-Man never would have said that about MJ. So that's just because Magic was out of the loop, but he's definitely charmed.
Yeah.
Who else up there? Shaq up there?
Who?
Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille kind of strong.
Yeah, he's up there. He's not
up there now.
He's not with Magic. Magic is.
He's not with Magic.
Yeah, the way people. The way you say Michael Jackson and he's here and everybody else they can fight. Magic, for what we're talking about, is here, and everybody else you can line them up somehow. But they not.
You can line them up.
But Shaq has it. I think Shaq definitely has it. And I tell you somebody else.
Kobe was on his way. If Kobe was here today, Kobe would have been making some surge. Because Kobe got an Oscar.
Yeah, he probably would have done some of the same things that
Kobe would have been ownership. Yeah. I'm gonna give Kobe. Allen Iverson, his route, he could have been his route he took but I think his influence would have been crazy.
Not an athlete, but a coach. I think you got to include Joe Gibbs as far as because he's got the 3 Super Bowls, and he's got the racing, and he's won championships with that. And we all know how hard it is to win championships racing, and you're the de facto coach or owner.
Yeah, Joe got some charm. Joe got some charm. Joe definitely he was on his knees and he got dipped in some of that good sauce. He definitely got that.
Yeah.
I'll give Joe might have been the first one we saw.
Yeah.
Transitioning into
something else and won and was winning.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. There's a few who've done the thing, but answer your question, it's Magic. It's Magic. I don't think it's
Magic. Most charm sports figure. I mean, wow.
Yeah, and then you've got some, because we aren't, and for those watching, we're not talking about greatest athlete, period. We're talking about that living that life and doing things out, not just not just on the field or on the court, but also off the court and off the field that you've done. Some others have done great things on the court, but not so much. The afterlife hasn't been like, man, this is nothing but hit after hit after hit.
High school championship on to a college championship in the transition of when the NBA really, I mean, college, the NCAA started being on TV. The year after, only Tony Dorsett has done this in football, and he had that Heisman Trophy, won a national championship, then won the Super Bowl the next year. Magic actually won a national championship basketball, won an NBA championship coming right out of college, had input in getting his coach ousted, and still made it back from that. A lot of people don't even make it back from that.
Yeah.
Is up there in that championship number with the NBA with 5 championships. So with NBA with 5 championships, he already has 7 titles, maybe even 8. He might have won 2 high school championships at that time, and it's only like 1985.
Yeah, and he's pivotal in making the NBA
pivotal,
as big as it became. He along with Larry Bird.
In some ways,
as far as, it's like, dang, they elevated the exposure and the popularity of the game.
Right. In some ways, has an iconic shoe. Turned down Phil Knight for the deal that eventually ended up being Michael Jordan's. Like let's, buddy. The goatee and the smile for a long time was just his signature, as signature as the bald head. Like
yeah. It's showtime.
Like I said, maybe two things. Hey.
Yeah. But I think if you asked him,
he had the first child. Like Dwayne Wade ain't. No, he didn't originate that either. Like Magic too.
I believe if you ask Magic, looking back on your life, other than like the one obvious thing, is there anything or much that you would change just from high school to where you are today? And we know what that one thing would be, because nothing is more important than your health. But I don't think that he would say, hey, I really can't say I got any regrets other than I would have liked to have one more championship, because that's how he was, that's how he is. But the regrets and what that, I think he would probably be like, what's it? Is it Sinatra? Regrets? I might have a few, but I did it my way. I mean, he really don't have. I mean, hit after hit after hit.
And let me point this out. Something that really shouldn't go unnoticed. Even before Jordan, it wasn't telecast as much, but we knew it. Even before Jordan had that great loving relationship with the mother and the father, the parents in the home, something that black kids in America needed to see. We needed to see this guy grew up in a great parental environment.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to see the single mom thing come through too, but we had the both parent thing come through, with Magic, and then it kind of transitioned on into Mr. Jordan and his mom Juanita, Jelly Bean, Kobe. Like we saw all of that, Magic, like we saw that dynamic, and he had some great parents, man. So Magic, man, I gotta get, man.
Yeah,
that's a charm, that boy.
Yeah,
that's a charm. Unless somebody doing something undercover, please let me know in the chat.
Now, if the Commanders ever actually win a Super Bowl, he will have a hand in 3 world championships in 3 different sports.
That's right.
I mean, Basketball, we all know.
He just kind of waiting on that.
Yeah. So
great segue. Speaking of the Commanders, we just want to send all of our blessings out to Jaden Daniels. If you saw the break, it was kind of it's crucial, man.
Yeah. Fortunately, there was no structural damage and nothing torn. So they're saying he could be back in 4 to 5 weeks with PT, because it was not to minimalize it, but it was just a dislocation. It wasn't anything, nothing broken. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a dislocation.
Was he already injured? Like what he snapped it back and Quinn brought him back?
What? No, he wasn't injured, but when he went down, he tried to brace himself, and
exactly.
Yeah, but I'll say this: he needs to gain some weight. He needs to gain some muscle because he's too small. I mean, he's 6'3". He's like a skinny, wiry 210, and by the time the season over, he weighs less than that. He's frail. I mean, RG3 was 225, but he had a track body, and he was lean and muscular. This dude just skinny, man. And I don't think his body is not built or constructed to take the kind of pounding that he's going to take when he's running and when he's getting drilled in the pocket, because he just frail. I mean, granted, Tom Brady wasn't a big muscular guy, but Tom Brady's 6'5", 230. He's not small. Peyton Manning and Eli 6'3", 6'5", 230. So there's some mass behind it. Jaden Daniels doesn't have any mass. And that's why when he gets hit, it looks
when man weight press down on you.
Yeah. And when he gets hit, you see him doing this the same way. I remember Vic, when he used to get hit, like he was getting killed because he was small. Boom. I mean, I think he needs to get in the weight room and put some pounds on. At least put on enough weight and enough mass, because you see Lamar put on some weight going into last season. He put on some. You could see the difference in him in order to keep himself healthy and be able to take.
He was going through that whole lot running. Absolutely. So we just wish him well. We wish him well and what he's going through. As far as rebound, but that is some good news that he can make it back. What were you gonna say?
Now, he'd come under fire for this, but do you think Quinn was at fault? Not at fault, but you think Quinn made an error in judgment by still having him in the game, or after the outcome was determined, they weren't going to come back? Or do you think, hey, man, that's just football? That could have happened early in the game.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Having him in the game in a situation where the game, because I was wondering about that, was out of reach.
Yeah.
Could have deterred the break.
Yeah.
Could have deterred the injury. No. That's what you get paid to do. Like. Yeah. That's one of those. And I think the first person that said that like to wear pink in November. Because we've seen comebacks from down further than that, but you're a starter. He hadn't been starting, and the reps most definitely would have helped, because sometimes, and I've seen this in football games as well, sometimes you were down that far because you're out of rhythm. And yeah, you may not come back, but a good quick 14 points at the end of the game that didn't even matter might have put you in rhythm again for the next game coming up. So I can't necessarily say even the fact that he got injured and he came down, that might have been his subconscious and not having that game time, bracing himself the wrong way because you haven't had game reps. Jokers know how to fall too. So all of those things, to me, I I can't necessarily blame Quinn for that. I just,
Yeah, I don't either. Like you said, that's what you get paid to do, and I'm sure that if he'd asked him if he wanted to come out of the game, he would have said, "No, I don't want to come out. I want to stay in and keep fighting
I'm
with my
trying to get
guys."
something else.
Yeah,
Yes.
because and same franchise, different name because the name changed. Uh, Back in 87, 88 Super Bowl, the Redskins and the Broncos, when when the Williams went down with the knee, he came back. We missed that one play and came back. And after halftime, they came and they told him, "Hey man, hey champ, I think we got this one. We don't need you, the
We
rest
don't
of the
need you.
second
But I
half."
understand exactly.
And yeah, and Doug said, "No, I started this thing and I'm gonna finish it." And they were already up for 35-7, 35-10 or whatnot. But he was like, "Hey, I started this thing, I'm gonna finish it. I don't want to come out." And he let him stay in. Because I mean, it's hard to tell a guy, "Hey, I need you to come out because I don't want you to get hurt." But the game's still going on because you basically saying, "Hey," it's almost like you're giving up. And you never want to come across as though as a coach or that you're giving up, that we can't do anything. Realistically, yeah, you're probably not going to come back, but you guys want to stay in and fight. Nobody says, hey, coach, I just set the record. I don't want to add to it, so just sit me down. Nobody says, "Hey, bring me out now. I've done such and such." They want to keep playing. I don't think that Quinn should be faulted or blamed for having him in there because other starters were in there too. If another starter, if your left tackle had gotten hurt, would you be saying, "Why was he in the game in the blowout?"
Didn't Drew Bledsoe get an opportunity after Tom Brady had taken the opportunity away, and Tom
Yeah.
Brady was fighting to get back in that
Right.
same? So we know how this works, and that was Drew Bledsoe trying to fight to get his job back. So we know how this works.
Yeah, so I mean, hindsight is 2020. Man, he wouldn't have got hurt if he wasn't in there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm fine with him being in there and being injured. But I'm hoping that he doesn't, because he's had quite a few injuries, just this year alone. The elbow, the hamstring, and the knee already. That's 3 injuries, separate injuries in a season that will all have caused him to miss time, multiple games. So I hope he puts on some weight, and I hope they manage him a little differently.
absolutely. Now, speaking of putting on some weight,
hey man, I'm trying. I'm working on that. I'm working on it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh! What? You pregnant? Because that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the pregnant mother to be, Cardi B, who had a little cute self out there up in the stadium with Robert Kraft. Now this ain't about that. This ain't about that. Matter of fact, let me let the people who are Cardi B fans who think, oh, look at how she made it out. This ain't about that. This is not about that. Pay attention to the context that we're about to say. Now, Cardi B was up in the stands or up in the press in the luxury box with Patriots owner Robert Kraft, and of course, NFL cameras are going to get their publicity out of this and show Cardi B, and they showed a lot of memes and all the footage of her and Stephon Diggs after the game, having their little lovey-dovey moment. Now, I just want to ask you and ask the chat, because you know who originated this, right?
Yeah.
Who?
When Romo was dating what's name, Carrie
Underwood. Come on. and I don't know who came first. Was it Jessica Simpson or Carrie Underwood?
Oh yeah, that's right. He dated Jessica too.
It was Jessica first. and then Carrie Underwood.
Yeah, I thought chicken of the sea was actually chicken. I didn't know it was tuna.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
Now, this is nothing new. It may be something new to you, but we just want to let you know that the NFL has been taking advantage of this dynamic since Tony Romo and Jessica Simpson with Carrie Underwood. We know the most recent is, of course, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Little bit of shout outs here and there, with they're married now, the Green Bay player and
and Simone Biles.
that little couple. And most recently, of course, Cardi B. Oh, hold on. There was a Miles Austin.
And a Reggie Bush.
Anna Reggie Bush.
And the basketball player, all
that. So like, is this like a part of sports? Does this help sports? What do you think? Like from a conspiratory standpoint, like, do you think Patriots have found a magic little strategy to, hey, we're going to continue doing this if you're going to put us on TV? They 6-2.
Yeah, first and foremost, they've got to be winning in order for it to really to make sense.
Unless you're the Cowboys.
Yeah. And secondly, I think that any publicity that the NFL can get, they're gonna get it. They're gonna take it. I think that the demographic is different for Cardi B fans for a variety of reasons, as opposed to for the Taylor Swift fans. And because there's some stuff that comes with Cardi and her image and what she does, and also with Diggs and his alleged 4 pregnancies by 4 different women at the same time going on right now, allegedly. So that's a different dynamic. Also,
is Cardi B one of the 4 that she make 5?
Yeah, I think she's one of the. I'm not sure if she's one of the 4 or if she makes 5, but regardless, who's what?
Who's the most famous out of the other ones?
I have no idea who they are. Yeah,
probably Cardi B. Oh, and I forgot. Chat. You're right. Russell Wilson and Ciara. Chat. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
And Tom Brady and Giselle.
Oh.
When they were yeah. But I think the dynamic is different with Cardi and Stefan as opposed to all these others, and Kardashian was different also, because we all know how she came into prominence. But I think that there's a different dynamic to bring that. If you're showing Cardi and Stefan, it can help bring in a female audience. That's really what all this would do, is help bring in female audiences, because people who like the game, like men are gonna watch. Some of the women might tune in just to see what Cardi is wearing, because she is known as a fashionista. So, let's see what she's wearing. So it can help bring in, I don't even want to say fans, but viewers. It can possibly bring in viewers if there's no negative publicity attached to outside, because if they start going through all kinds of drama, they're gonna take their camera. They won't be putting the camera on them, because the NFL they don't need anything negative associated with the game if they can help it. But
keep on.
Yeah, but like Russell Wilson and Ciara, they're good publicity for the game. He's not a starter anymore, but he still has a name. And Ciara, Yeah, and if people watch their posts, like Sierra's post or whatnot, there's an ongoing joke where every time Sierra posts something looking good and dancing or whatever, because Russell Wilson always comments and they say, "Well, we know Sierra about to get pregnant again," you know. So there's some wholesomeness there, and we got the others. We know their demographic, sir. So this is a different demographic that Cardi would bring in, and that demographic that Cardi would bring in. I will say this: they would spend money on some Patriots gear, just because. Oh, that's Cardi's man. I like Cardi, so I buy a DX jersey. So I think that it can be good for the NFL if those two don't do anything to, make the league look bad. Plus, Diz got to start balling out, which I don't think. I think he's past his prime, but he's far past his prime. But
if your girlfriend understands, you can get some targets.
Yeah. Anytime he does something.
Yeah. Shout out to the chat. Y'all, we were mentioning, and I say it first because I'm a Cowboy fan, and I think NFL wise, because I'm not sure what happened before that. But you're right. I got one for you. Since you wanna, I'm gonna trump that one since you want to tell me. We forgot Tony Parker and Eva Longoria for the NBA because they did bring that pain. But guess what? I'll see your Tony Parker and Eva Longoria and give you the originators. Ted Turner and Jane Fonda. Talk to me now.
I see your Ted and Jane, and I will trump that with Terry Bradshaw and JoJo Starbuck, the Olympic, the figure skater. This is in the early 70s. But I'm just saying, as far as yes. They were married for like 2 years, and then Terry said they both went their separate ways. But famous people,
I'm almost certain if we do our research. Oh, you know what? Well, no, it ain't before that one. But you're right. It's not before Terry Bradshaw. But I got a Mark Gastineau and Bridget Nielsen on you. And I'm almost certain Joe Namath got one. We just don't know who it is.
Yeah. I was thinking about Joe, but Joe had a lot. He just didn't have. They just weren't famous. They just weren't famous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so not just the NFL, but sports will take advantage of having a famous couple, two celebrities coming in, and they will put them out there because they will bring in new viewership. They don't need you to necessarily be fans. They just need you to be viewing.
Right.
You can be. Well, I've never bought a Patriots jersey or a ticket to a game, anything. But since they're showing Cardi, I'll watch those games. I don't know nothing about Taylor, but I like the Chiefs, and I don't know anything about the Chiefs, but I like Taylor, so I'm gonna watch. Yeah, right. Yeah. So
absolutely. Now, on to our next one. We should have kind of went when we was on Coach Prime, and I just want to bring this up, man. Okay, I just want to say it. I'm not against Coach Prime. I'm pretty sure Coach Prime being in the media, if he wasn't coaching, he would be straight line just like this. As the window in Colorado closed, we're gonna start right there. Is it over?
I think he'll be gone at the end of next season if things don't turn around. And if they do part ways, I think it will be done where it's said to be mutual, or it's said for him to do because he wants to do watch out, deal with his family or take care of his health or something like that. I don't think that they would put it. I don't think it'll ever be. He was fired. He might have been. Hey,
hold on, right quick. Shout out to Prime too. That's another one of them charmed lives. I
was thinking about that, but I was saying, okay, he ain't had any success at Colorado, really. But
Colorado,
he's lived a charmed life.
Yeah, the charm, but go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that it'll ever be. Cause I think they have too much respect and appreciation for him giving Colorado a shot in the arm, because unless you were either an alum or you followed that conference and just rooted for every team in that conference, y'all wasn't nobody watching Colorado. Nobody was talking about Colorado. Nobody cared about Colorado. You talk about Colorado, you go back to when Cordell was taking snaps.
But we give him that. It's over now. You got to win.
Yeah.
He gave him that.
He's got to do something.
My point here is, go ahead.
Okay. You got outscored 100-something to 24 over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
All of these.
If that was Ossie Davis on school days, and you laughing like Ossie. Come on now. Y'all want to take off a Prime, but the Prime is at Jackson State with those same numbers. Suddenly, it ain't about him being black at a PWI. Like keep it even across the board. I'm pretty sure he knows this is not a good look. Just like down there in that $61 million buyout down in Coral Gables that they trying to figure out. It's not a good look. Certain programs, no matter what you're doing, it's come down to what have you done for me lately.
Yeah.
And some people don't get the same rope as others.
Right. He need in order for his tenure there to be successful, considered a success, never winning a championship, a national title, anything, or never playing in one. He need to be a consistent 9-win coach, winning 9 games. Because Colorado, even when McCartney was there, they weren't winning 10 and 11 games every year. They had a run. The Cordell years, they had a run, but they were always up there. They would have 8 wins, but they weren't a consistent where, hey, they're going to be a top 5 team. He needs to win 9 games consistently in order for them to say, yeah, because they're not especially even in that conference, they're not a top tier program.
Right. Even that boy down there in Miami, 10 games just ain't enough.
Yeah. And Colorado's history is not.
Colorado win 9. Like this is a different monster, especially now that you got NIL and the transfer portal and unhappiness happens faster.
Yeah, he's got to change the way he gets talent. He needs to be willing to go and recruit, meaning I go to this school, I go to this kid's house and say, hey, I want you to come to Boulder. It can't be where you come to see me. These kids, especially with NIL, who after 1 year they don't get their money or they don't get their playing time. Man, I'm transferring to such and such. I'm transferring. I'm from Southern Cal. I'm transferring back to USC because I'm not getting playing time at Boulder as a freshman. So my sophomore year, I'm going to be at USC. You're not going to try to earn a spot into that. I'm going to USC. I could have got a few snaps last year as a freshman, and they're going to give me more money because Prime is fond of saying they don't have NIL money. These days, if you're not winning and you don't have NIL money, unless I just love the program or love playing for this particular coach, or I'm having great individual success, that, hey, yeah, you're going to go in the first round. I don't have any reason to stay at this school. I can go somewhere else and and get
Sometimes you're saying that to protect yourself too.
yeah.
Hey, you're a Georgia boy. Did you go ahead and start Julian Newman?
Well, they said he was gonna start him. Yeah, they said he was gonna start him because this other dude not doing anything. But it's a whole thing. They don't have overall talent. They don't. They've got an excellent or very good coaching staff, very experienced coaching staff. They're getting coached by former pros, including Hall of Famers. If you're a defensive lineman playing in Colorado, unless you just suck, you have no business not being at least fundamentally sound and a solid player. You got Warren Sapp coaching you, and Sapp is, for everything else that people want to say about Sapp, he's fundamentally sound.
Talk to
me. He knows the game, and he knows how to impart that upon guys.
Technique with athleticism.
Yeah.
At that position. And I'm glad you segued into that defensive tackle thing. But before I go to that, and I'm gonna end it right here with this one. Coach Prime, get out in front of it and just tell the truth. You have one of those 4-year programs. Mm-hmm. Keep your boys there. Your boys are going to shine and win you 10, 11 games. And then the Pac-12.
What are they? The Big 12?
Big 12?
Or the Pac-12? Because they left. Yeah, they're not in the Big.
You have one of those. When my boys get to be juniors and seniors, that's when we gonna shine schools. It's just what it is. You got a rebuild school. You don't have a reload school. You have a rebuild program. You don't have a reload program. It's just what it is. You're going to, and you're going to get lucky. You're going to get lucky. And when they're shining those last 2 years of their greatness, some recruits who just want to be there and they like what you're doing are going to come there, and it may make it happen faster. And you may have that happened 2 years ago type of situation. But let's be real. And your alumni need to be real. And all the Colorado fans and all the Colorado fandom need to be real with yourselves. That's just one of those schools. And
they're the equivalent of Vanderbilt and Wake Forest.
Exactly. You're just the equivalent of that. Don't expect much. I know you want this brand to have those Ohio State, Texas, University of Miami, Florida State expectations every season. University of Florida, those types of schools. You can't recruit like that. You just don't get them. There you go.
It's Boulder, Colorado.
Boulder, Colorado.
And the majority of the college football players are African American. Boulder has the majority of the black people in Boulder are on the football team. Why am I going to leave South Florida? Why am I going to leave Cali? Why am I going to leave the South?
Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off while I'm up here in this cold, because that make it faster for me to go home. So you just have one of those programs. It's just what it is. Don't expect much. Don't believe the hype about what's going on, because guess what? Same thing was happening back in the days. It's what it is. Mm-hmm. It's what it is. And you got noticed, not because of Coach Prime, but you got noticed back in the days because Oklahoma, Nebraska
was whooping up on them.
Whooping up on you, and so you built yourself to beat them. And if you in building yourself to beat them, when you catch them on the downtime, you're going to be on a good time. It's been the same way. Now, Tank spoke of a defensive tackle, and I don't know how many of y'all saw that game, last night, but I will say this. Big news today. I should have led the show with this. I really should have. But everybody been talking about it. Big news today. Trades came down. And is it big news? Like, would this be big news if he went anywhere else? I don't know.
Depending on where you went.
Depending on where you went, it's big news. But big news, man. Big news today, man. I mean, really, really, really big. The Cowboys in trade talk, excuse me, I guess it's free agency and trade. You know the news today.
Trade, yeah.
Signed former Cincinnati Bengal Logan Davis. That's not the big news.
That was interesting, being the fact that he was a starter in Cincinnati, but they decided to go with the younger guy, even though even though he had been doing a good job, they decided to go elsewhere. So really, yeah. So I think it was a good sign that you got a quality starter at linebacker. But I don't think that's the biggest news that you were talking about.
It's not.
Yeah, I don't think that's the biggest news you're talking about, but it is an upgrade.
Oh, you know what?
Of the linebacker position.
Let me tell you what happened. All show long, all telecast long, and that day prior to that. This is the NFL and this drama. Oh, I got some big things happening. I got some big things happening. So you wake up that morning after that shellacking you get, and I don't want to talk about it, but we're kind of gonna get to it in reasons why. After that shellacking you get in a 2-5 team and a backup quarterback find itself, in your house. You wake up the next morning and all that talk that Jared was doing, you see Logan Wilson. That's what you wake up to. And then a few hours later, across NFL news, this was big to me. Across NFL news, you find out Sauce Gardner from the Jets. Now, this young man was picked as he's supposed to be like a cornerstone of the Jets franchise. Like this was the second coming of Revis Island.
Yeah, didn't give up a touchdown in his career at Cincinnati.
Didn't give up a touchdown in his career with the Cincinnati Bearcats. Supposed to be a cornerstone. He was traded today to top of the division in the AFC South, Indianapolis Colts. Who lost? How many yards did they give up in passing? Like was that?
They only gave up. Now, how many yards did who give up?
Indianapolis to y'all.
235.
So do you think that was the decision? Or had they been seeing Indianapolis had been seeing themselves get chopped up?
I think they need a premier lockdown corner, and they saw the opportunity to get one who was already under contract because he just signed a deal in 23. So they already and they knew what kind of money they had to work with, and they believe that they can win now and also build and have a team put together to win in the future as well. And they said, hey, if we got the opportunity to get one of the top young corners out there, why not? Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. They had already been thinking about that because I looked at their defensive passing, and he disappointed me. I don't even know what happened. I had put on one of my parlays, y'all wide receiver.
Oh, DK
Metcalf, yeah. I forgot his name because I forgot his name because he went missing.
Yeah, he been missing a lot this year.
He went missing for the game, and I thought he was just gonna eat him up because those numbers look like I was like, oh, he about to have a big day. He didn't. All good. I still made up for it. Thank you, God. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see him go into from right now it's the outhouse to the penthouse.
Yeah, and now he also has
the New York Jets have one of those franchises too. That facility and everything they got going on in New York, they're not broke and they don't treat their players bad. They just have a bad franchise.
Yeah,
from, you know.
Yeah, they in Cleveland are the two armpits of the NFL. You go there and if you if you do decent, you're fine because you don't nobody goes there and excels and wins. They go else after they leave there. They find themselves. Sam Darnold. I'm expecting Zach Wilson to do something now. You know when he gets another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers was in his mind after last season. You know the way they said they didn't want him back before the season. Though he probably said, "I can't win with this up here with this shit."
They need to get that. They need to get Brees Hall and the other wide receiver.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
A little too talented. A little too talented for what's going on out there.
Yeah, and Brees wanted to go.
And Brees wanted to go. Now.
Yeah, but
what you about to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, Brees wanted to go, but now he's gonna try to leave in free agency at the end of this season because there's nothing there. There's no reason for him to stay there. They've got no quarterback. But but I think that going back to the Colts picking up Sauce, that gives them a cornerstone and a lockdown corner in that position. And he wasn't playing up to par this year. I know he's coming back off concussion, but I think when you're getting whooped year in and year out, it weighs on you. He's like, man, it doesn't matter what I do, we still gonna lose.
And you know what? That could have an effect on him as a player, technique wise, because he might just be not in the film weight room like he normally would be because he knows it's just not what his outcome is. Just not what it's gonna be.
Yeah, you get caught up in the losing. Like, man, like, dude, just like when you saw Cincinnati. What's his name? When he said, "Man, when we score and we up like that, man, just do your job. Just stop them." When the receiver called out, he called out the Cincinnati's defense. He's like, man, we did everything we were supposed to, and y'all can't make one play. Get off the field. And I'm sure that's what the Jets defenders are probably like, man. If we get off the field, can y'all just get in the end zone? Can y'all score something? We can't hold people to 17 points and know we're gonna lose because y'all can't find end zone twice a game. So yeah, I think we're gonna see what we really wanted to see out of Sauce and what we saw his first 2 years because he's only got 3 interceptions in his career. I think we can see,
and that's not a bad thing because he has one of those profiles where balls don't supposed to be going his way anyway. You know,
I think with more picks now.
Yeah. So we're gonna see now. Another guy on the Jet squad. You kick him down, we pick him up. Sauce was the guy that picked him up. You mentioned D tackle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the guy that's supposed to be kicking him down out of Alabama. Later on that day, after the Wilson news, the internet just goes to scrambling. The internet started going crazy. The internet started going crazy like the seismograph on the old Godzilla movie, or when you used to watch the Monsters and did a little stop thing. You used to go in the little thing. You stop moving. The internet was moving today when this shocking news came out of New York again. Even more shocking than Sauce Gardner leaving. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to say this straight up. This will be the first time since, I believe, November 18th that we, as far as the Cowboys are concerned, have given up a first-round pick for a player. And that was Amari Cooper. For those of you who want to go back to Roy Williams, no. Amari Cooper actually worked. And difference is Roy Williams was coming from the NFC, even though he wasn't for a first-round pick. Amari came from the AFC. I'm gonna throw GP in there from the AFC, and now we got another joker from the AFC. Not just AFC, NFC. But my thing is SEC. Let's talk about it. A dog in Quinnen Williams from Alabama. So that's Alabama, Amari, Alabama, Quinnen, Georgia, George. A dog is coming to Dallas for a first-round pick 2026, second-round pick 2027, and Mozzie Smith.
Yeah.
And we already got Kenny from Green Bay for Micah and Ozuwuse. I don't want to get the boy name wrong. We have 3 wedges across the board to hopefully stop the bleeding of that situation that happened Monday night. Now, we don't know. The one thing I do like about it is it happened on the bye week, meaning you have all this time to get to know the team, get in there, practice, and get acclimated to a scheme that we might be able to let you get loose. There's depth in the position, because I think all of them be starting. But what I'm saying is there's depth in the position of Clark.
Rotate them.
You just rotate them on who's going to get who to free up that edge. You know, and I saw Calais Campbell do some things at the end of the game last night that I know, and he's older than
yeah, he's much older than Williams.
Much older than what's the name who we just got?
Quinnen Williams.
No.
Oh, Clark.
No. Veteran. Played with Houston a little bit. That was his last shining moments with Houston. Great. Hold on, let me see. I know his name. And you know his name. Great guy, the greatest player in college history out of South Carolina.
Out of South Carolina. Oh, Clowney. Yeah,
David Clowney.
I think he got hurt. He got hurt last night too, though.
He got hurt last night.
Yeah.
I just need him at 40%. I just need him at 40% and just do some end of the game heroics like Campbell did. You know, just shut the game down. I don't even need, and what I'm saying is 3 across the board that young. We talking everybody under 27.
Well, Clowney's hit 30. And,
no, I'm talking about.
The others. Oh, yeah.
Your 3D tackles. I like what Jerry did, and I'm asking you. Jerry has always been getting hit with, he don't do nothing in free agency. He don't do nothing in the offseason. He don't make any moves. He's not like the GM in Philadelphia. Let's talk about it. GP doing good. GP doing good. The Rico Dowdle thing, it's hard to say if he would have been doing, but I don't think my man.
Yeah, Dowdle's not a great back. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's doing anything Dowdle wouldn't have been doing. I think that was kind of even. If you ask me, and we'll get into that. Your two people for whom you said I'd rather pay them than give the money to Micah, because we still need these fat boys up front, which you now have, are the ones that's really messing you around. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think there's
You're 36, $96 million messing you around.
Yeah, I think there's a talent discrepancy, and also even more so than that. I mean, you look at your defensive coordinator, Eberflus. I don't think he knows what to do to get the most out of those guys in his scheme. There's some things that he could do better. He could do different schematically in order to dial up pressure, in order to generate more sacks, in order to make the defense more productive. Because the defense, I think he has some things there's some smoke and mirrors he could have been using, he could have been doing. But the reason all these things were working against Dallas every week, practically, is because everybody saw that everybody could do the same thing because there was no adjustments. Mainly, if they keep beating us with these particular types of plays, why don't we do something to counter that? Why don't we call some different stunts? Why don't we shift personnel around? Why don't we make him the over tackle instead of the under tackle? Why don't we put somebody in the gap? Why don't we put somebody in a 3 technique instead of a 5? Why don't we use a little wide 9? Why don't we dial up some more pressure? Why don't we? There's things you can do to make your defense perform better, even if it's above what their talent level. That's where coaching comes in. That's where coaching matters. You can scheme your way to a win or two. Now he's got two proven starters, one on the defensive line, another linebacker. So you should see some improvement. If you don't see improvement, that's a coaching issue. You want, because Quentin Williams.
I'm gonna say this right quick. Wilson was a cerebral move. I believe Eberflus and the head coach saw we don't have a Kuechly, Sean Lee, Vander Esch cerebral brain out there to direct traffic, because maybe Eberflus is telling you to do something, but you got your linebacker core and your middle guys who don't know how to get people in position to be disciplined enough to make the adjustments. Like it looked like this too. The same way it looked like they weren't making adjustments, it also looked like, damn, man, I just figured out what we were doing last week. Now you got me doing something new. So now I got to learn this. So you really don't know if they're not making adjustments or not, because they're running around with the head cut off. And I believe Wilson is one of those, I'm about to get in here and direct track. You need to be over here. You need to be over here. You need to make sure you stay here. You need to make sure you stay there. Because even with Overshawn coming back, and this is not me being hopeful, even if Overshawn comes back healthy, he's just one of those athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you need a guy who reads the play and gets to the play before the play comes. You don't need Mr. Athletic. You also need him, but you can't just be dependent upon Mr. Athletic who can see it, react, and get to the tackle. I'm telling you, that is how Kuechly, Sean Lee, Vander Esch, that is how they made all those tackles. They saw the play before it happened. Yeah. They didn't have the athleticism to get there. They just knew, okay, let me get to the spot. And we don't have that.
He was coming from one of the worst defense in the league, Cincinnati, and he got benched there, so you can't look at that. But I think him coming there along with Williams should also help Bland and Diggs, because they you know how I feel about them. they can make a big play, but they can give up. They're gonna give up too.
But
So
they're not that type of. We've never had that type of cornerback in the history of Cowboy football, with the exception of Prime, who don't need a defensive front doing anything. He just benefited from one, twice in San Francisco and Dallas. But he showed you he didn't need a defensive front the whole time he was in Atlanta.
Yeah,
which made
I think Williams is going to be your biggest pickup, and if he comes in, if they let him play and don't have him thinking, or he got to do all this, say, hey, control this gap and get through there, help collapse the pocket, and don't give and help play the run on your way to the quarterback. He's not a big sack guy, but he can collapse the pocket and he can stuff the run. That's what they need him to do, because Clark hasn't been stuffing the run. Now him and Clark together, that should upgrade your run defense. And if your run defense is upgraded, that's going to help. That's going to help.
Clark, unfortunately, is from that Aaron Donald mode. He really be trying to get upfield to get sacks. That's his problem. He one of them new age defensive tackles who don't realize what job one really actually is. You know what I'm saying? Job one of a defensive tackle is the glamour is on the outside. You ain't gonna get the name. The glamour comes with the guy for whom you stop to get them in. The guys on the end who gonna get all the glamour, y'all got these three guys up here. Your job should become easier if you're doing your job, and that's what I'm saying. You should be able to tell Quentin Williams to do. Don't come in here trying thinking you finna stop all this and get sacks. The greatness that you're going to prove for us is going to be seen by what you should be able to give. If only Michael was there, and I don't think this would happen if Michael was still there. But the greatness you should be able to give to these outside guys.
He should free them up, because he should call the double team.
That's it. There's no reason you guys shouldn't get home if this guy is operating at 85-90%, and all three guys are operating at the same thing. You really should be getting home. Now, I will say this, and I'm gonna go back to this: $96 million, and you're 3-5-1. I think all of this has been spinning in Jerry's head since he released Michael. I think these deals, he just needed to find out when it was going to happen, when the right was going to happen. I think Hendrickson was in that mix. Crosby was in that mix. He just needed to find out, I can't just be getting this guy. And I believe that's when the Clowney thing came in, because I think the Williams thing did open up a while ago. It just needed to fit. They needed to figure out what it was going to get done, because the D tackle was needed. But all of that being said and done, it did look as if he knew the Cowboys defense was bleeding. But he had $96 million. He said he gambled on $96 million and said, I got you a new toy. And that toy actually been working. You got lucky with Williams. I got you a new toy, and you should be able to sneak out 2 or 3 of these wins, that when I finally bring my real package home for Christmas, we could be at least 5-4, but you end up 3-5-1. And I'm 3-5-1 is how many passes CD Lamb dropped against the Eagles game. That could have been a differentiate. That could have tilted the scale on a win. Am I saying something wrong?
Yes, plays that could have been made that tilt your record to possibly another 2 wins.
Even with a bad defense, and we know we got that. There's some plays last night. I saw Dak just played a bad game against Denver. And he played a bad game last night. But there was a play in that tie with Green Bay.
Yeah.
That was on him. And it was a difference between a tie and a win.
You can't have all of those things happening all the time. That's the problem. You got to have a defense that's going to come through and possibly win the game sometimes, because sometimes your offense is not going to be clicking, and you got to be able to say, okay, the defense is going to have to carry us, and they're going to do it. Now, if
it's not,
yeah.
See, and what I'm saying is, last night, you got a $36 million wide receiver who had a 4th and 4.
Mm-hmm.
The DB was playing 7 yards off the first down marker, which would have kept the drive going, and it would have brought you within 7 if you score. And it makes up for the 3 you didn't get when you're going for this one, right? He ran a 9-yard route right into the DB. Made it a jump ball. You can't just run that out for 4 yards like he gave you the play. So these are the things I'm saying. Like Dak and CD right now remind me of some women. And what I mean by that is, hey baby, I'm finna give you $96 million. I need you, and I'm finna give you a brand new toy to play with that's gonna help both of y'all out. But what I need you to do is I need you to hold it down, because I got something big happening. But just hold it down for me till mid-November. And you know what she did? She took your money and didn't do her part.
Didn't her part, yeah.
She waited on you. She waited on you to give her everything to say, oh, well, I just couldn't. I'm so sorry. Because all she good for is riding your waves.
Yeah. We're going to see over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, over the next 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to see how this works out for them this season. Because the next 2 to 3 weeks is going to let you know where they're going to end up, if they're going to make the playoffs or not, because I don't think that Philly is going to mess around and let them close the gap. And
oh no, Philly made a move too.
Yeah. Philly is the king at this time. Howie Roseman is the king of not sitting pat and resting on your laurels. He keeps upgrading at positions that they need to be upgraded, and also well, this guy, he's gonna probably retire in a year or two. Let me go ahead and get his replacement now. They didn't skip a beat when Jason Kelce at center retired, because they already had it. They already had the center.
The first time I saw that was 2002, 2003. John Gruden, when he got to the Bucs, it wasn't even about finding replacements. It was about the psychology of making the guys who you're not going to replace uncomfortable enough to feel like, hey, don't do your job, you'll be replaced too. Yeah. See, that level of comfort, everybody don't really understand that strategy where it pertains to that.
Mm-hmm. So I got to give it to the Eagles the way they do it, but Dallas is going to have to definitely step it up, and Eberflus is going to have to take advantage of of the new talent that he's given them. If not, it's going to be a long season, and if not, he might not be back.
Oh no, like you can't ask you can't ask Jerry. Jared went beyond himself. From a name standpoint,
mm-hmm.
Jared went beyond himself. So I mean, it's gonna be the offensive line now. Like y'all keep trying to find something. Every Super Bowl team, playoff team, don't have all those things clicking either.
Right.
So stop looking for perfection. At some point, your marquee guys who are doing their job got to step up. Stop being that woman and wasting my $96 million. Still waiting on me.
And again, we're gonna see, like I said, we're gonna see what Dallas does, because in the NFL, coaching matters. It's about coaching. And the reason I say that, because you look at what Caleb Williams has been able to get out of Chicago. Nobody had them with this record. And yeah, Alicia, and he's progressing. He's not great yet. He's not great, but he's fairly steady, and he's got some things he's got to work out. And he and the head coach, I can't remember his name now.
Chicago?
Yeah. They're working together to figure out the sweet spot, because he's all about timing and doing things this way, and Caleb still wants to get his Mahomes on and do some stuff outside of what you're supposed to do. But I will give him this. Now, how's this? Yeah, Johnson. How's this for a stat? Caleb Williams has more touchdown passes this year than Golden, the first round draft pick of the Packers, the wide receiver. He hadn't seen the end zone yet. Caleb had a receiving touchdown this past week. Yeah.
On his feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a receiver. I mean, Caleb actually caught a touchdown pass this past week.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. More receiving touchdown.
Yeah. Golden doesn't have a receiving touchdown yet.
Right.
And he's your first round pick. So coaching, you need to get Golden involved one way or the other, especially if you've invested all that in him.
Because you picked him high for Green Bay. Like he was supposed to stretch.
Yeah. And right now the Green Bay has a bunch of, for me, a bunch of 2s and 3s. They don't have a one guy who you say, man, they got to stop him. You're not worried about Green Bay as far as, one particular receiver beating you. You don't go in saying we got to shut him down. You just hoping that Love doesn't spread the ball all around and kill you. But
I'm gonna say this, man. We coming off that bye week against, and I don't want to knock anybody at this point, but we're coming off that bye week against the Las Vegas Raiders. Like, come on, like if that's not your if that's not your HBCU tune-up game, they team to win. Like, it should have been 2 games, but like let's be real, it is what it is. Now, having said all that, we are now in the second hour. We just want to make sure we've been in the second hour. We're in the last 15. We want to make sure everyone like, subscribe, comments, and share with us on NOJASSSHOW, the No Jazz Show on Facebook, Instagram, the No Jazz Show on Instagram, No Jazz Show on X, No Jazz Show on Twitch, Riverside platform, Facebook, DuPont NIVEK, and on our page, Facebook page, No Jazz Show. I want to say "the" so bad because we are the. But nevertheless, and of course TikTok, where we have been live for the past 15 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into the twins, man. You got a twin this week? I don't.
I do.
Good. We doing that one
on the one shirt. And this happens to be. This is gonna be like last week. They were on the same team. Okay. This week, same team.
Got 2? You have 2?
No, I got 1.
But that was making the cut. Okay.
Yeah, these two on the same play for the same team.
Okay.
My twin, one, today's player who I picked, who reminds me of a former player. We got Mount Washington, Darnell Washington, tight end from the Pittsburgh Steelers. 6'7". At the last truck stop, I say he was probably 300, 310. I think he's eventually going to be moved inside the tackle if he doesn't lose some weight.
Is this our first interior lineman?
Well, first tight end, yeah.
Okay, tight end. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
He for somebody for a behemoth like that, he does have athleticism. He can hurdle people. If we have seen that, he has fairly sure hands. He's not going to shake anybody. He's not running by anybody. And my problem with how he's being utilized, one of the ways, is the fact that they don't get him the ball when he's moving. Because a man that big, if you hit him in the hands, but he's a stationary target, he turns around and has to generate some speed before he can start pulling away. He's not pulling away from anybody. But if you got a local, you've seen how long it takes a train to get started and get up to full speed of a steam engine. It doesn't start off at top speed. It takes a while before it gets started. But once it gets started, it's hard to stop, and it takes a mile for it to stop. He's that way. They need to get him moving and hit him moving where he can just run through whoever's on the field. Now, that being said, his twin played for the same team, played for the Steelers. He's a first-round draft pick out of Liberty University, coached by Sam Rutigliano, who was also the former Cleveland Browns coach. That man whose son happened, Eric Green. Eric Green, for those who don't,
Eric Green. Shout out to Eric Green.
For those who don't know, and Eric Green had a different build. I mean, it's hard. He wasn't as tall. He's like 6'3", 6'4", but he was like 285. But he could get off the line. He could run. He was sure-handed, and he could get open. And what made him even more dangerous is the fact that the Steelers would get him the ball when he was moving. So that 280 pounds is moving, and you're trying to hit it, and you're a DB. Physics wins. But they both great, huge size, bigger than anything that you normally would see at the position. The athleticism that both of them are capable of hurdling defenders, because Eric Green used to jump over people as well. Sure hands, huge target, could box out anybody trying to cover them or trying to break up the pass from the back. So they've got the same DNA. I think as far as I'll say they've got the same DNA as far as because they both could block like offensive linemen. And when you got a tight end who has hands capable of being an actual receiving threat, and he's a legitimate blocking threat in both your running game and pass blocking, it's an advantage to your offense to utilize that. There's no reason why you can't get Washington enough targets and enough balls to have 700 yards a season. Green once had the 9. So
Eric Green and who else?
Eric Green and Darnell Washington.
Oh. My bad, y'all. Shout out to Eric Green and Darnell Washington. They are this week's Impact Notables twins. Eric Green and Darnell Washington. I'm gonna tell you, man. For me, I don't have a twin, but I do want to. These two are twins to me, and I'm not gonna send them a jersey, but I do want to point this out because I like their friendship. and I like what they do. They kind of remind me of Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, the way they are. But it's not a twin, it's not a This Week Impact notable. I'm gonna find one. I'm still gonna send them boys that jersey and give you a shout out on video. Once I do it. But I just want to get a shout out to Clayton Kershaw. Upon his retirement, he's going to leave Major League Baseball with back-to-back baseball wins. And his boy, Matthew Stafford, both of them from Texas, who in his homeboys' week, goes out there and throws for 4 TDs. See, they don't make Matthew Stafford your name too big for twins. So that's why I can't do it. But I did want to point out how you two do that for one another, man. Like I know that your joy for your friend Clayton stayed in you on Sunday, and you went out there and did what you did to them Saints. I really just wanted to say that. And I know you two got on the phone, like, man, it's just one of those things. So shout out to those two. Now, having said all of that, in the last 10 minutes, you got any final words, Tank?
Well, it's funny that you brought Stafford up because my final word is about Matthew Stafford.
Segue.
Yeah, I think that we've gotten to a point where maybe I'm late to the party, but I think that there's a chance that we might have to start talking about him, or maybe y'all already have. I'm going to have to start talking about the fact that he's probably, or he's a Hall of Famer, not first ballot, but I don't think he's first ballot, but the things that he did in Detroit, I wasn't overly impressed with, but it was Detroit. But he was one of those guys who I think he was in danger of being Archie Manning. Archie Manning, people always say if Archie had played with a better team, he would be looked at as an all-timer, because Archie's stats ain't nothing to, he never had a winning season. His best season was 8-8. But people are quick to say that if Archie had been with a better franchise, he would have been probably a Hall of Famer. I think that Stafford is one of those players who he got with a better team, a better coach, and a better team, and a system that utilized his talents even better than what they were doing in Detroit. And he, at this point in his career, still at this age, he's still a top 10 quarterback or higher. If you want to put him in the top 5, I'm not gonna fight you. But he's definitely a top 10. And I think it's time that we look at his career again, especially him doing it in this later part of his career. You look at the numbers and the wins that he's been putting up since he came to the Rams, and you got to speculate, and you got to say, hey man, if he had been with a good coach and had somebody besides just Megatron for all those years, it's no telling what kind of numbers and what kind of wins he would have had. So I think that it's time that when he retires, you can start counting down to when Stafford was going to get his his gold jacket. I don't think it's going to be first ballot, but I think by no later than his 3rd year of eligibility, he's going to get him a gold jacket, and I think it's going to be well deserved.
I'm telling you, man, if that I don't know how baseball does it, but if Clayton's ceremony is anywhere near Matt's ceremony, They're gonna make that happen because he's gonna be retiring soon, and I'm pretty sure the city of LA is going to acknowledge those from here on out. So that was a great segue and last final word for those two. My final word was going to be a topic. My final word was going to be a topic, but I decided to make it a final word, which is why I didn't bring it up as a topic. But my final word is not to talk about this young man because he's a young man and I want him to be a young man. But this young man is in the news again due to his attitude. And I'm talking about I'm going to the NBA and I'm talking about Ja Morant. Ja was just suspended the game for some things he said to the local media. And he was coming back off suspension and he kind of went in on the media again and directed it, towards the coach and the GM in regards to his attitude. And I could see in his face that he's just one of those young men that just was thrust into leadership based on his athleticism and his marketability. And he's just not ready for that role by virtue of what he said, because you have to train up a child and a professional in a certain way. Everybody doesn't have that gift. Everybody doesn't have that ability to put those things on their shoulders, even when the game plan centers around stopping you. And the game plan centers around stopping you, so that could make you have a bad game. But everybody on the outside looking in don't know why you had a bad game because you should have a good game to them. But it was set up by the other team for you to have a bad game because the game plan is centered around you. Just like Kevin Durant said, who is challenged by this as well when it pertains to this leadership thing. And everyone is focused in on you, and then the ability to be great every night doesn't show up, and then the media comes at you, and then you don't adjust to it right. Because leadership, as far as sports is concerned, is a very humbling experience. Like you got to speak French in a win, meaning everything is about we when you win. Then when you lose and the game costs you something, you got to look in the mirror in a team sport. Carson Beck, and say, very challenging situation, for anyone that just doesn't have that DNA. There are some that do, there are some that don't. And I'm just going to say this. Sports, especially the NBA, I think we need to do a better a better job of marketing our weapons versus our leaders. We have guys who are weapons, who are going to get the game plan focused on them and centered around them, and they might not be able to have that greatness every night, which means verbally they're not going to give you what you want from a media standpoint every night. That's a weapon. A weapon deserves to be marketed like Starscream on the Transformers. Leave him over to the side. He's a little mouthy. He's good when he's good, but he's not the one that need to be the spokesperson for the team. So we need to get the weapon as limited media as possible and get the local media in on this too. Because these are just weapons. And you minimize the weapons, Nike, Adidas, Don't give them that much pub. I'm not saying don't give them money, but you know, they need to be print guys. They don't need to say too much because I'm noticing these young men are being thrust in these situations where they're not fully developed professionally to tell you what you want. And
Right.
just like Bruce Lee said, Bruce Lee even said, you literally have to learn how not to react to everything in order to be at your highest height in life. And they're not ready for that. So I think sports, you really should do a better job of vetting your weapons versus your leaders. Because a leader can become a weapon. You know, y'all think we be playing with these metaphors, but there was a reason why Flint wasn't Duke. There's a reason why Destro wasn't Cobra Commander. There's a reason why like I said, Starscream wasn't Megatron. There's a reason why. Because there's a major difference between a weapon and a leader. And the crazy thing about that is the E and the A in the middle of both words. But that E and A stand for every atmosphere. Ain't for everybody. Learn the difference between a leader and a weapon. All right, this has been the No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW. I have been your host, KD. And I want you all to make sure you join us in the chat. Like, comment, subscribe, share on X. If you want to call it Twitter. You know what I'm saying? On the Riverside platform. Thank you for coming in, chat. Thank you for coming in, TikTok, in the chat. That's No Jazz Show. Instagram, DTHE, No Jazz Show, NOJASSSHOW. Facebook, No Jazz Show. NOJASSSHOW. Woo! It's been a long 2 nights. It's been a long 2 nights. Tank, my co-host. It's been fun, man.
Another great show.
Another great show. Salute these people. And we are out of here. Oh, I could have clapped.